that was on the world stage through the American media. And his shooting is really very much a part of American history, although that's normally not normally what's written in books. The fact he was shot in between Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy, and the day before Robert Kennedy, he's part of a trilogy of killings, because it's in Martin Luther King's case, it's a racial killing, it's a political killing. In the state of Warhol, it's a cultural killing. He's a culture hero. I remember there's a great article in Newsweek magazine at that time when Robert Kennedy was assassinated, saying that Robert Kennedy and Andy Warhol had a lot in common. They were both culture heroes. And in those days, through the media and what was happening, I guess, in general, in the sense, to the extent which art was making really impact on society, culture heroes are people who defined way of life for their followers, And Andy Warhol had quite a large following internationally, as well as here, as did Robert Kennedy. And so their shootings are not unrelated. So anyway. This is very difficult to read. So the scene is that Andy Warhol has just moved into a new factory. He's moved away from the great silver factory of the 60s into more business-like offices, where he's beginning to run his business. And a woman from the past, from the silver factory, named Valerie Solanas, a radical feminist, writer, and activist, was coming to see him in the middle of early June 1968. And Andy's very open to this. He doesn't reject people who want to come and see him. He'll see them. But on that particular day, she came over to shoot him. She came over to kill him. And he had no idea, of course, this is going to happen. So the scene that's set up is that we're in the second factory on 33 Union Square in New York. And Andy's talking on the telephone. And other people in the room are working. They're talking on the phone. They're talking to people. They're doing things. And Valerie Solanas, who's in the room, pulls a gun. Let me see if I can get that part. And Valerie reached slowly into her paper bag and withdrew her .32 automatic. She pointed it at Warhol. Still nobody paid any attention. In that frozen second, only Andy saw what was really happening. Surprised, he dropped the phone, jumped from the desk, and started to move, looking directly into the woman's pinched face. No, no, Valerie, he repeats, screamed, don't do it! Solanas fired a second time. Andy fell to the floor and tried to crawl underneath the desk, the glass-top desk. But she moved in, placed the paper bag on the desk, and taking aim more carefully, fired again. Her third bullet aimed in Andy's right side. It punctured both of his lungs, his spleen, and esophagus before exiting on the, where I lost my punch. He felt a horrible, horrible pain, as if a firecracker had exploded inside me, and started screaming and writhing on the floor. Blood pumped from his chest, soaking through his T-shirt and splattering the white telephone cord. It hurt so much, he told friends later, I wished I was dead. So Valerie Solanas, meanwhile, after shooting him, escapes through the elevator down the floor. And as soon as she escapes, everyone in the factory who's been hiding behind doors while the shooting's happening rushes up. So as soon as the elevator door shut, pandemonium broke out. Billy Name, Paul Morrissey, Mario Maya, and Jed Johnson rushed up to Andy screaming and shouting orders and suggestions. Mario saw blood all over Andy. It was just awful, just horrible. Fred crawled across the floor to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but because of the holes in Andy's lungs, it was an impossible task and unbearably painful. It hurts, Fred, it hurts, Andy croaked. He felt that he could not take in a deep breath, no matter how much he tried to expand his chest cavity. Every time he did, air would enter through the wounds as well as through the mouth and escape through his lungs. He turned away, Fred desisted, and picked up the telephone to call for an ambulance. They were all uncertain what to do. Blood was spreading the floor, and Andy was saying, I can't